Hi there, Chad here from Kobo, and in this video I want to show you how to create an agentic writer that does what you want it to do, and it's there, it's reliable, and you just can keep coming back to it whenever you need to create pretty much any type of content because it will automatically adapt to what you're asking for. And I'm just going to do this really quick. I'm going to go over here. Let me just go back. This is my workbench. I've got the Smart Writer tool added to my workbench. If you're a Kobo user, you know what this means. But if you don't have this here, you can open up the toolbox and you can add the Smart Writer or any other tools that you want. I'm going to go into the Smart Writer here. I'm just going to create a new writer, and I'm going to let the AI do it. I'm just going to go ahead and dictate this. I need a writer that will take a brain dump of my thoughts and what I want to create all in one field, and then generate a prompt that will create what I ask for. Okay, let's clean this up a little bit. Let's see what I want to create, and let's just put all in one field here in parenthesis, and that should do it. So we'll let the AI create our writer. What it's doing in the background is just kind of analyzing what we're asking for, and it's creating a prompt, a system message, and the fields and that kind of stuff. Is just all the stuff that goes into a writer. Now remember, we asked that we just want to be able to provide a brain dump and have it create the prompt, or create a prompt. Yes, let's go ahead and edit what this looks like. And so brain dump to structured. I'm just going to call this agent. Well, this is the prompt. Sorry, I'm gonna cancel that. Let me edit my writer here and just change the name from prompt generator to agent writer. Okay, so we got agent writer. So if I go back here now, agent writer is just always here for me. And now every time I come into Kobo, I go into my Smart Writers tool, I have access to agent writer. And in theory, I could just say something here and I'll get back a prompt, right? So whatever I want to talk about, just type it in there and I'll get back a prompt. So let's take a look at this. It says you're an expert prompt engineer and content strategist with deep expertise in translating raw ideas into actionable, structured prompts that produce high quality outputs. That's good. Prompt template. So here we go. It's setting out some constraints, some methodology, some quality criteria, a specific output format. It needs a clear role, specific task, relevant constraints. So it's kind of setting up how it would create a prompt, kind of similar to what it did here anyways. And then it has the brain dump to transform. So let's see here, analyze. So you're going to analyze the provided brain dump and transform it. So we're using some keywords here, and down here it's using those same keywords. So the AI is clear on what it is that it's trying to work with. So that's a pretty good prompt. And down here, this is set up to use whatever the active model is right here, right now in Kobo. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to change this because I know that this is going to be writing a prompt. And I like how Claude 4 creates prompts. So what I'm going to do is just come in here, go to my favorites, and I can type Claude, and I'll just copy this and put that in there. And let's lower the temperature a little bit, and we can move this up to 1. Max tokens, 1500 is probably plenty for a prompt. We can move it up just a little bit, and everything else is good to go. We can save that. Okay, so we've got our first step set up. So what will happen now is if I ask for something, let's see, I want to write a blog post about ramen in Tokyo. All right, and we hit write. So we're going to have Claude 4 that's going to now create a prompt that will instruct an AI model to write a blog post about ramen in Tokyo. And here we go, comprehensive prompt. See, it provided a title. So this is something that we might want to work on here a little bit, right? So let's look at our result. Okay, so the result is pretty good. The prompt is a very good prompt. It's got a lot of instruction to it. So it might be a little bit overwhelming for tiny models, like if you're trying to use like Flashlight or local models like Gemma or something like that. It might be a little bit overwhelmed with how much instruction is being provided, but maybe not. It's always worth testing. So we got this here. See, notice how we got this. We don't really want that in there. So let's go ahead and edit this prompt real quick. And we'll come into, let's go into system message. Just put it here. And we'll say, do not write any leads, labels, or conclusions. Just the prompt only. All right, so what we want to have happen is only the prompt comes out. It's okay if it has a label for role and task. That's pretty much fine. And these, in fact, let's go ahead and edit this. Let's not put labels in here. Leads, let's intro or conclusion. Let's use intro, because labels might prevent it from actually putting those labels in there. And labeling is like a form of metadata that's really good for AI. Okay, so what we'll get now is a prompt. So what we want to do is let's go into the edit here and let's add another prompt. And we'll say write. We'll just call it the write prompt. And let's just save that once real quick. Okay, so it wants something here by default. So it's a little bit, let's put something here first. This is just one of the limitations because you have to get the prompt in there before you can see this. Okay, so what we're doing here is brain dump of structured, right? So this prompt is called brain dump to structured prompt. Could probably change the name of that, but that's fine. And all we want to do is pass just that in. What this means is that when this runs, this prompt is going to run first, and then this prompt is going to run, and it's going to get the results that come from this one. So essentially, step one is creating a prompt that does what we want it to do, and then step two is going to run that prompt. Pretty cool stuff. I'm going to leave this one here as the active model. We use Claude 4 for this one in particular because we know that it writes good prompts for us. You could use any model there you want. You know, Gemini 2.5 Pro is really good at it too. You know, just whatever you prefer. So step one writes the prompt based off of our brain dump. Step two runs that prompt to perform the task that we asked for. So in a sense, this kind of becomes a do anything for me writer, right? So we can see we got two steps here now, and we'll do let's just open this back up. So it says I want to write a blog post, so let's go ahead and do a write all. So what will happen is step one, it's going to write that prompt. It's going to use Claude Sonnet 4 to create that prompt, and then the second one is going to run, and it's going to run with the active model. Now, see how it says the ultimate guide to ramen in Tokyo and so on. This used the Llama 4 Scout model. I don't know if you noticed how fast that came in. It wrote 629 words and probably almost instantly, because there's a provider on OpenWriter for the Llama 4 Scout model that has over 1,000 tokens per second output. Is pretty cool. It's great for testing, and if you can get that model to work for you and it satisfies what your requirements are, I highly recommend it because it's just fast and you just get stuff back pretty much instantaneously. So there we go. I now have a tool that is called Agent Writer, and anytime that I need pretty much anything done for me, I can come into here, brain dump what it is I want, hit write all. It's going to create the prompt that will handle that functionality for me, and then actually run it in the second step and give me the results. And the results are here just like this, and we can just copy them out. We can come over here, we can export them as plain text, markdown, HTML, copy as well. And we can even come back in and edit the prompt that's running this, which you probably don't really need to do too much. But one thing you might find interesting that I want to show you real quick is, let's go into our tools, and I'm going to add the disallowed words list here. See how we got some lists here. I got this ignored words, and it's a bunch of words that are kind of overused in the AI space, right? So if I go into here, go back into my Smart Writer, in this one here, now if I edit this prompt, we can select one of those lists and add it there, and save this. And now those disallowed words essentially will be used by this prompt automatically, and be told not to use those words as best it can. Now, keep in mind that you're essentially asking AI not to do something, which can sometimes be a little, like models try to be positive. So they take better instructions when you're telling them what to do rather than what not to do. So keep that in mind, especially the smaller, less capable, I guess we call it. Don't really like using that word because models are just different. They're just different, right? They vibe differently with different prompts and stuff like that. So you might find that certain models don't work well with you trying to say don't use these words, and they might still use them. If you find that happening, try bumping up to more capable models. Maybe if you go into something like a Gemini model, Gemini 2.5 Flash would probably do okay. 2.5 Pro will do all right. Of course, Claude and and OpenAI's stuff. So if you want GPT 4.1 or something like that, you could try those. The cool thing is that you get to basically run these. Since this prompt here, right? If we take a peek at it again, the model it's using is the active model. So no matter what, if I can just swap and change the model really quick and use this and get the content created after Claude Sonnet 4 has done its excellent job crafting a really thorough prompt for me, and get the results that I want really quick. Pretty cool stuff. This might not be like the perfect, but if you're looking for something to get like a really nice draft going and you don't really feel like writing the prompt yourself, you just want to be able to say it and get what you want, do a little dictation into a brain dump field like this, hit write, and you get your results. So that's what I wanted to show you today. Hope you find it interesting, and I'll leave a link to Kobo if you're not already a user. Check it out. It's an awesome tool. I'm working on it with a bunch of actual users who are trying to solve real problems or real challenges for themselves, and we communicate in a private Discord. So these tools and stuff that I build are based off of things that are being requested by users who want to solve their problems. And so if this sounds interesting to you, please check it out. And if you do subscribe, you also do get an invite into the private Discord as well, where we can chat and hang out and share ideas and support each other. So until next time, take care.